Welcome back to the channel, our beautiful unhinged squad of daytime drama survivors. Today is Tuesday, an absolutely beautiful day to grab your favorite iced coffee, lock your doors, and prepare your souls for the most chaotic deep dive we have ever done on this platform. We are about to spill some piping hot tea, so buckle up. Oh my god. Stop scrolling right now. I'm literally speechless. Are they for real? I've been following this chaotic drama since I was in diapers, and this is officially the craziest move yet. Besties, can we unpack the audacity of what is currently going down between Michael Corinthos and Congresswoman Willow Kane? Dude, I'm so shocked my jaw literally hit the floor when I realized the sheer magnitude of the psychological warfare they are waging against each other. Hot take incoming. But Michael Corinthos is officially entering his villain era, and honestly, I am low-key here for it. He is fighting fire with absolute unadulterated hellfire, and the stakes have literally never been higher. Wait, let me break down the actual mechanics of this masterclass in petty revenge, because it is legit blowing my mind. Michael is allegedly planning to literally bug Drew Kane's house. Yes, you heard me correctly, squad. He is going to plant hidden listening devices in the home of the man his ex-wife shot and paralyzed. Essentially, Michael knows that Willow is a walking liability, and he needs hard, undeniable proof of her crimes. Because remember, Willow tried to frame Michael for shooting Drew in the first place. The absolute nerve of this woman. But get this, Michael's plan involves bribing Drew's caregiver Travis to look the other way while his operatives infiltrate the premises. It is a god-tier mechanical execution of espionage, and I am screaming at the top of my lungs. Also, we have to talk about the legal loopholes here, because the system mechanics are functioning on a whole other level right now. Michael knows that because of the double jeopardy clause, Willow cannot be tried for the initial attempted murder of Drew Kane again. She beat the charge, slapped on a designer pantsuit, and became a literal congresswoman. It is giving major scammer energy, no cap. But if Michael can catch her doing new harm to Drew, like say, continuing to dose him with a paralytic agent to keep him silenced, then that is a brand new felony. He just needs to capture her confessing, or actively harming him on tape, and her entire political and personal empire will crumble into absolute dust. I am actually losing my sanity over here. When we found out that Drew didn't actually have a stroke, but was rather intentionally paralyzed by Willow and Nina, it was a total kinetic Chow's moment. The impossible lightning reflexes required for Willow to pivot from a grieving, supportive wife to a cold-blooded, attempted murderer who keeps her victim locked in his own body is just, I can't even process it. Smash that shift key, besties, because Willow Tate Kane has become the most terrifying antagonist on this entire roster. She is keeping Drew locked in a vegetative state just to protect her political career. And it is the most diabolical thing I've ever witnessed on my screen. Does anyone else feel physically attacked right now? Let's talk about the real victims here, Wiley and Amelia. Michael's primary motivation for this entire Black Ops bugging mission is to get sole custody of his children. And honestly, facts. Don't you feel it's so unfair for them to be forced into that house of horrors? Wiley is terrified of Drew. He remembers how Drew acted before the shooting, full of life and energy, and now seeing him paralyzed and silent, it's completely messing with his little head. And poor little Amelia, she is literally having nightmares about the scary monster in the wheelchair. It breaks my heart into a million pieces. Michael is a father pushed to the absolute brink, and he is doing whatever it takes to protect his bloodline from this trauma. Remember when they tried this with Nell Benson? Yeah, it went nowhere back then either. Nell was a master manipulator who played the victim flawlessly. But even she didn't have the sheer political backing and ruthless audacity that Willow currently possesses. Is the same tragedy happening to Michael all over again? He is constantly falling for women who eventually turn into his worst nightmares. But this time, Michael isn't playing the passive victim. He is using his Corinthos DNA, channeling his inner Sonny, and resorting to straight-up blackmail. He doesn't even care if the audio recordings are inadmissible in family court. He just wants raw leverage to force Willow to surrender custody. I know some people are really enjoying this, but personally, I am clutching my pearls in absolute horror of the fallout. This is just my personal take. And many might disagree, but seeing Willow, the former sweet, innocent dawn-of-day survivor transform into this diabolical, syringe-wielding politician is both a massive slay and an absolute tragedy. She is blackmailing Jack Brennan. She is blackmailing her own mother, Nina Reeves. She is threatening Michael's new girlfriend, Jacinda Bracken. Willow is a one-woman wrecking ball, and she is destroying everything in her path without a single ounce of remorse. Honestly, if we look at the lead dev's crazy update history, they have completely overhauled Willow's character build. The stat distribution is wild right now. They nerfed her empathy and maxed out her stealth and deception trees. The patch notes didn't even warn us about this alignment shift. She went from lawful good to neutral evil in a single content drop, and the community forums are literally on fire because of it. Wait, I'm getting way too deep in the weeds. Anyway, back to the actual gameplay. The reality is that Willow is holding all the cards, and Michael's bugging strategy might be the only viable counterattack in the current meta. Let's deep dive into the Nina Reeves of it all, because we cannot ignore her complicity in this nightmare. Willow literally manipulated her own mother into administering the paralytic into Drew's IV line. And then she kept the syringe with Nina's fingerprints on it to hold over her head. It is legit the most toxic mother-daughter dynamic on television right now. If Michael's bugs pick up Willow and Nina discussing their crimes in the living room, he can take that audio straight to Dante Falconeri and acting district attorney Justine Turner. Even if the bugs are technically illegal, the sheer weight of the evidence could trigger a massive PCPD investigation that would tear Willow's empire to shreds. And we absolutely have to talk about the Jacinda Bracken drama. Willow is actively trying to banish Jacinda from Wiley and Amelia's lives because of her past, calling her a bad influence. The hypocrisy is literally blinding me through the screen. Willow, the woman who shot a man, paralyzed him, and framed her ex-husband, is judging Jacinda. Michael is defending Jacinda with his life, and this bugging plot is his way of neutralizing Willow's threats. He is going to use the blackmail material to ensure Jacinda can stay in the picture. And I am so here for this protective boyfriend energy. It hits different, no cap. Let's circle back to Travis the caregiver, because this is where the plan gets incredibly risky. Bribing a medical professional is a massive gamble. If Travis flips on Michael and tells Willow about the bugs, Michael's entire custody case goes up in smoke, and Willow will use her congressional power to bury him. But Michael has that infinite Quartermain Corinthos wealth. He can offer Travis a sum of money that would change his life forever. The sheer mechanics of this infiltration require perfect timing. Michael has to wait for Willow to leave for one of her high-profile congressional hearings. Slip the tech guys in, plant the bugs in the living room, Drew's bedroom, and the study, and get out without leaving a single trace. It is a straight-up masterclass in covert operations, but here's the massive wildcard that could blow this entire operation wide open: Elizabeth Baldwin. Liz is actively visiting Drew and offering him communication tools. If Drew manages to blink an SOS or use a specialized computer to spell out Willow's name before Michael's bugs even catch a confession, the entire timeline gets disrupted. Willow is already sweating bullets over Liz poking around. If Michael's bugs capture Willow panicking over Liz's communication tools, or worse, threatening Drew to stay quiet, that audio is the ultimate smoking gun. It proves she knows Drew is fully aware and trying to speak out. Don't you think they should just let Drew have a single moment of peace? The man is locked in his own body, fully conscious, listening to the woman who shot him play the devoted politician wife for the cameras. It is straight up psychological torture. The fact that Michael is using Drew's immense suffering as a pawn in his custody battle is also low-key messed up. This whole situation is a messy mix of we're so back hype because the drama is absolutely peaking, and I'm filing a lawsuit levels of frustration because of how dirty they are doing Drew Kane. My mental state is just a chaotic blur of pixels and tears right now. Besties, I am straight up manifesting a massive brain dump with the squad because holding this in is literally not an option. We are watching the complete and utter destruction of the Corinthos Kane family unit in real time when those bugs go live. And Michael sits in his office with a pair of headphones, listening to Willow incriminate herself. It is going to be the most satisfying, heart-shattering, electrifying television in history. Will Michael turn her into Justine Turner, or will he just use it to force her to sign away the kids. Either way, the incoming storm is going to reset the entire simulation. I am literally pacing around my room right now trying to process how Michael's going to pull this off without getting caught. If Willow finds those bugs, she won't just call the cops. She will probably try to paralyze Michael next. The stakes are astronomical. The fact that Wiley and Amelia are caught in the middle of this espionage war is the most tragic part. No child should be afraid of their own home, and no child should look at a paralyzed man and see a monster. Michael has to win this for the kids' sake, even if he has to break every single law in Port Charles to do it. Let me know in the comments if you are worshipping this incoming collision or if you are as terrified as I am of the fallout. Are you Team Michael and his illegal surveillance? Or are you terrified of what Congresswoman Kane will do when she's backed into a corner? This is the kind of storytelling that keeps us glued to the screen, spiraling at 2 a.m. and begging for more. Slay, safe, trust, no one check your living rooms for hidden microphones. And I will see you in the next breakdown.